Good morning. It's a very windy day today, but it is nice and sunny. I'm going to take advantage of that by sealing off the water tank and solar power, just with the waterproof sealant, and then we'll do the grey water. So I couldn't do that yesterday because it was raining, but I can get under the car now. Once we fix up the odd jobs, we will continue on with the kitchen. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. As you just saw, I've secured on the grey water tank. You can't even see it from out here. Even if you duck under, you can't see it. I didn't mean it for that. It doesn't really matter, but it's nice. With the hose, I'm not connecting it up just yet. As I said, I still need some leeway for the movable part of the kitchen. So I don't want to cut it just yet because if I need to pull out a bit more, I still can. I'm fairly certain this is more than enough, but better to be safe. Cool. So these small jobs are done. Let's continue on with the stationary part of the kitchen. I also had a thought last night about how I'm going to mount the switch panel. And I think when I have the bench top, it'll go to about here. There's going to be this space left here. So what I might do is to cut a triangular kind of piece to cover this. But I might mount the switch box on this bit as well. So it's kind of underneath the kitchen, but still accessible. So on the side of the kitchen. I think I may have to move this over a little bit, but we'll deal with that when it comes. Yeah, let's continue on with the kitchen. Yesterday I started on the framework for the stationary kitchen. As I said, the wood length was a little bit too much for the bench top. So I'm just going to cut it and sand it back to match that. Once we have that, then I can measure the height, because I need it to be exactly 50 centimeters high. I finished cutting and sanding the legs. I just need to measure it to make sure it's the right height. So it's a couple of millimeters off. So it's about 498, but that should be close enough. So I think I've finished making the frame. It seems stable enough, but I forgot to get brackets from the hardware store, so I need to put brackets on all the corners just to give it a bit of reinforcement. I don't know if I should be putting framework here as well. I don't think I will need it. Let's just try it without that first. Alright. It seems fine. Yeah, so that can support my weight. The bed's not going to be... The bed's also going to have supports, and there's going to be the two bits of the kitchen as well. So I don't think this will be taking too much weight, but you know, it can take my weight, so that's really all I should need. I've finished building the framework. I did go up to the hardware store and get some brackets, so I've just put them on each of the legs, on each of the corners. I think I'm ready to attach it to the wall now. I may have mentioned it earlier, but I think I need to move some of that plumbing around, just so that this thing can fit. I did also get some Velcro for the cables. The spiral tubing stuff that you can get to tidy up the cables was very expensive. It was like $50 for 10 meters, which is ridiculous. The Velcro was like $4, so I'm gonna go with that. So I will also clean up the cable run as well. But let's fit the framework. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to rerun the water tubes. I'll also put the electrical cables inside the frame so that it's sitting flat up against it. I finished moving around the cable, the tubing and the electrical cables. So I put them in the frame, and this electrical box only just reaches here. So I think I will mount it there. Initially I wanted to put it here, but yeah, I think it'll be better a little bit hidden. So now that that is in place, I'm going to attach it to the wall, just so that it doesn't move around. So I'll just put a few reinforced brackets along the back, and then we can put the bench top on. I finished fastening on the frame. It's pretty solid. Like, it's very hard to move. So I'm happy about that. I am going to it is up a little bit. I might just fasten it a bit more. Okay, so I have just added some extra braces, so one on this side and one on the other side. It was slightly lifting up like this when I pulled on it, but now it's not. It's moving the whole van. So I think we're ready to put the top on. I've double checked the width that the bench has to be. I'm gonna add an extra centimeter, just to give a little bit of a leeway. It doesn't matter if this end is a little bit bigger, so long as it's flat on the wall. So I think I've got my measurements. I'm gonna cut the bench top, and then we'll add it onto the hinges. Whew, tingly. I've just finished sanding the bench top. Let's see if it fits. Looks good. Let me get a straight edge and we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, so that's pretty much spot on. Yeah, it's perfect. It's fitting in just on the cusp of the wheel arch here. So I am happy with that, and I think we're ready to put the hinges on. These hinges are slightly too large. I don't know if I should go and get smaller ones. One other thing that I forgot to factor in was this bump on the hinges. So I think it will leave a gap on the wall side, which isn't a huge deal. I can cover that up with like rubber or wood or something. Yeah. I might go up and get smaller hinges. Yeah, I don't want to be reaching in there and then bumping into it with my hand. Okay, let's go back to the hardware store. I'm back from the hardware store. I got these smaller hinges. Still a fair bit of a gap. Yeah. Okay. I'll try and get it as close as possible, but it looks like there is going to be a gap. I just realized why there's going to be a gap. It's because I'm putting the hinges on this side where they should be like this. I'm going to need to take the frame out and attach them on before I bolt it in. Just before I mount it back on the wall, I also got this gas strap. So the strap will hold it up in place without it keep falling down. So I'm just going to add that on, just in case I need to get behind it, or saves me from removing it again. It looks like this strap won't actually work on this because it's not deep enough. It needs to affix on like this, but it's too shallow. Okay, so having the hinges on the back like that has caused another problem. There is a gap between the wall and this I think I'm just going to put another piece of wood behind it just to block it off and so I can drill into it and then I might just cover it with rubber or something. Okay, so I've finished securing on the top bits. I might take these this bracket out because it's I might put them on the bottom actually. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, it has caused a gap between the wall and the kitchen. So I will think of something to put there to block that off. I'm just not sure what. Would have been nice to have the cable run there, to be honest. But it's too late for that now. Let's continue on. I think we've got maybe an hour. Yeah, just over an hour left. Now that I have the bench top in place, I'm just gonna unwire the fuses, like the circuit breakers, pull it through and then rewire it. I think I'll finish up here for today. It is getting quite late and my battery is almost dead anyway. The stationary part is kind of pretty much done. As there are other functions that I wanted to have with it, but I don't think I will have time. So I think I will just leave it as it is, and I can get containers and stuff to put in the storage area. Tomorrow, let's start on the movable kitchen. Yeah, let's start on the movable kitchen. Yeah, I don't think we'll have time to finish it. Actually, before we do that, I will do the electrical run. So I didn't get time to finish it up. So I'll finish doing the electrical run and we can mount it. And then that'll be done once and for all. Yeah, so let's do that first and then we can continue on with the removable kitchen. Once again, thanks again for joining.